content for days. He just creates beautiful memes on his Instagram that make me laugh my ass off. Guys, we got to talk about the 22222 or 22222 genius Kanye West. Oh man. Kanye. Yay. I love Kanye. I could just say his name for fucking 15 minutes and call that content. This man literally makes everything he does turn into absolute gold. I think he's so freaking hilarious. I think his memes on Twitter and stuff, like the Civil War meme, had me dead. I think Kanye West is one of these like few celebrities who could absolutely break the internet. Like anything he does, like if he starts like if Kanye West were to wear like a construction vest tomorrow and post a picture in it, I guarantee you there'd be like I could drive down the street to my local high school, the one that I went to, and like 2 days from now, I'd see like 3 or 4 kids try to like emulate Kanye West construction vest meme. Like I guarantee you. I think my senior year of high school, Ariana Grande wore this like particular outfit in this Instagram photo with Pete Davidson when they were dating, and there were these 2 girls that tried to make it that made it their Halloween costume. Like one of them was Ari and the other one was Pete, I think. I'm not sure. So shout out to those 2 girls. But that being said, I don't know who they were. That being said, Kanye is doing something very unique with Donda 2, which is his new album that released on 2/22/22, the special day. And what he's doing is he only released the album on the stem player. What the hell is a stem player, Anuj? Well, the stem player is kind of this sort of music editor speaker type thing where you can press buttons and like isolate different parts of a song and create remixes and all this stuff. It's pretty cool. It actually sounded really cool. But I think most people are getting the player so that they can get the album, paid $250 for it. And you know, and then it comes with the album pre-downloaded. You like download it onto your computer, and you know you can listen to it and whatnot. And apparently, according to Kanye's Instagram, he said that he did like close to $2.3 million of sales on his first day. So that's freaking impressive. Shout out my guy. If that's true, $2.3 million on a stem player, that's insane, man. Absolutely insane. So, I mean, like I said, the player has like its functionality and it actually seems kind of cool. I personally wouldn't purchase it because I'm not a musician, but I definitely know musicians that would, you know, could make use of it. It seems really small. I don't really know how you can do all those things. But yeah, I think it could be used effectively if you're like a music producer or some shit. Like I think it could work. But Kanye, like his main point with this whole stem player, right, and releasing this song or releasing the albums on a stem player was the whole idea that he's like, fuck streaming services. And streaming services with artists have become this huge war that's going on behind the scenes of the music industry where we don't want, or where they don't want to give like any credit to anybody. Sorry, that was really bad wording. They don't want, like, where artists want a lot, like artists want their money, but at the same time, like Spotify and all the various streaming services are trying to take more than they give. And it's turned into this huge war. And I think you see it particularly with these bigger sort of artists out there, particularly with, you know, the Kanyes of the world and, you know, people who are big. And he does have a point in that he basically said in his explanation of trying to, you know, of why he's only releasing Donda 2 on the stem player, that like one of the main things is that he believes that artists don't truly benefit from their music, which is true. I think, what is it? Like they only get to keep like 11% of their profit that they get on streaming platforms, and they barely get enough money on streams. They get like maybe like 0.0025 of a cent per stream. Like it's nothing. And it's, I mean, if Kanye's doing that for that cause to like really like be like, yo, streaming giants, like y'all need to do better if you're going to make me release my music on your platforms. Otherwise I'm going to take my business elsewhere. Like good for him. That's a good point. But I do get the point of it. And Kanye West can get away with that, right? He's huge. He's massive. Everybody, you know, will follow Kanye West. He did $2.3 million of sales. But how are other artists going to follow suit, or are they content with what they get on Spotify? Because Spotify and streaming platforms give them something that they probably wouldn't have if it weren't for these streaming services, which is exposure. They get you a wide variety of people to listen to your music. It's accessible. Everybody's got Spotify on their computer. I have it right here. I just click a button, search your name in the artist window, it comes up. That's why I like it as a podcaster. I don't really know how much money I get per stream. Do I get money per stream on Spotify? I don't know. But like, maybe I should look into that as a podcaster. I think it's like less. I think it's like somewhat of a fraction of a cent. It's probably like less than the amount of Bitcoin that I own, TBH. But like, yeah, it's really small. And I don't necessarily think that artists in today's society are like thinking like, oh, yo, I got to release my music on other platforms, or like figure out a way to do my like music exposure because Spotify is, treating me like shit. I think they prefer, like, especially upcoming artists and upcoming content creators. Like, look at myself, like upcoming podcaster, like, you want Spotify because it's the place where everybody listens to stuff. It's the place where everyone can just search at, the Changavi Show. It comes up, click on an episode and listen. You want to make it as easy as possible for the consumer. That's what I have learned. And I feel like a lot of artists don't want to kind of go through the extra legwork and, do all that. And, like, can indie artists do what Kanye did? Probably not. They can replicate maybe at like a smaller level, but I don't think to the level that Kanye is doing it. I don't know. There's a big example of artists that have left specific streaming platforms. Jay-Z obviously started Tidal, and so he left Spotify for a bit, but then he came back and dropped all his music there. So that was cool. But it's all dependent on how the situation plays out. With Kanye is a guy who likes to, like, he's also been like a guy who thinks in phases a lot of the time, and I don't want to judge him because he does have a lot of mental health and all of these things, and I don't want to like look at him any differently for that. But I actually do like the product that Kanye's come out with. It seems like it's a good product. I haven't really seen any product reviews just because it's so new. But I think we're starting to see like creators, instead of merch, kind of shift in this direction of like providing actual valuable products. Like, you see Emma Chamberlain like started making coffee, like Chamberlain coffee, instead of hoodies, right? Logan Paul with NFTs. Like, these are things that like provide more value than just, oh, like this cool, shirt. Like, I like this hat. Like, let me wear it, So like providing more of like a intimate value with the consumer is definitely something that I feel like the STEM player has and can be replicated and can be seen through like maybe other content creators' eyes. And you were like, yo, like, I want to do that. Like, that sounds sick. And like maybe make something like that. And listen, I know I made a whole video talking about the mental health issues of Kanye West. This was like way back, like 4 months ago, 5 months ago, maybe. And yes, all of that is 100% true. He's going through a lot mentally, a lot of stuff. But here's what you got to know. He is an absolute fucking creative genius. This dude is one of the smartest creatives that I've ever seen. With the way he's released albums, like his, the story with Graduation, all of these things are like huge. He's done this multiple times. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's super business savvy. And this man and his, like, the team surrounding him is just ridiculous. They're so good. And I think people forget about that, right? We live in this era where Kanye West has become sort of a meme figure more than anything. Like, my dad knows who Kanye West is, right? My dad does not know a single rapper besides Kanye West. Why does he know who Kanye West is? Because he's, a meme, and he supported Donald Trump, and, he was big in 2017 when he went to the White House and said all the shit he said, right? That all is there. Kanye has become a big deal in meme culture and popular culture like that. But let's not forget, this man is a musical genius to a certain extent. I believe he's made just absolute bangers after bangers, just great album after great album. And he has a seat of the greatest rapper. He has a seat at the greatest of all time table for a reason. This dude is a genius. Creatively, business wise, he has, killed it. And like, listen, his personality is questionable. He's done questionable things. I'm not here to defend his actions. I'm not here to, be a Kanye stan or any of that. But he deserves that seat for a reason. He's there for a reason. And it's for things like the STEM player, like seeing that ahead of time, before everybody else. And I think it's a cool product. I'm just interested to see like how the early reviews come out. Like, do people actually find use in it, or are people just buying it for the sake of like, oh, Donda 2 is on there, so I'm just gonna download it on my computer and like fuck this player that I bought for $250. I basically just bought Donda 2 for $250. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I'm interested to see how people feel and if they're going to be able to use the product in the future.